Hi, Coach. Good to see you. In terms of Raven's game, how much of the amount that she played had to do with what UConn was doing or not doing in terms of defending her? How much of that was seen, because this is obviously her season high in points, season high in shots, how much of that was a reaction to what you were seeing in-game to keep her in the 20s?
I mean, it was all in-game. Raven, we know is going to push tempo. Raven, we know is going to pick the ball up. I thought she did a phenomenal job on Mule in disrupting. Like, she wasn't a primary point guard. We wanted somebody else to initiate their offense, just as some sort of disruption. And then when we got into half court, she didn't let her touch the ball without her actually feeling her. And then when Mule doesn't have it, that's the country's leader in assists. She can't really make people better if she doesn't really have the ball. And we were hoping by the time the fourth quarter came around that she was just too tired to do some other stuff. She wasn't, but that was our whole objective. And we had to have her on the floor because she was that impactful defensively and offensively.
Jeremiah, and then Emily.
Jeremiah, okay, our local media's here. Shout out to your bosses for opening that budget up.
Rebuild gets the 2 fouls first quarter. Bree Hall also gets the 2 fouls. You end up putting in the same lineup for that whole second quarter. Just what did you like about that group and how they were kind of able to tie it?
I like their aggressiveness. I like the fact that they were grinding it out. It wasn't pretty, but it was just making sure that they didn't get open looks. We want to make sure that Lopez did not get open looks, and you saw what she could do in the fourth quarter. Very little space. I thought we had some lapses, and we didn't switch out, and she got some. She wasn't wide open, but enough for her. I just like that group. They play fast. They were able to play on the fly. They were able to execute what we needed to execute on both sides of the basketball, and found ourselves back in the basketball game.
Alan, and then Emily.
You've been talking a lot this year about needing Camila to be dominant. You said it Thursday. What does a dominant Camila Cardoso kind of look like or mean to you? In that moment after she fouled out, you kind of went out on the court to see her. What can you take us through that moment?
It starts in practice. Like, she really has to take it a lot more seriously because, she is, there's not a whole lot like her. She's mobile, she's efficient, she rebounds the basketball even if it's her own misses, and she's a shot blocker. Like, she's an intimidation factor, and she needs to play that way all the time because, like I said, if she doesn't have the performance that she had today, we lose the basketball game. If we could play a little bit better, some of our other players could be a little more efficient, then she's a difference in it not being as close as it is.
After the foul out with the tag, you went on the court to see her?
Yeah, she's not a robot. Like I told her, you're not a robot. You're not a robot. Like, you have emotions. I thought it was quick. Considering what happens out in our game, it was pretty quick. So I'm not gonna beat our players up for being who they are. It's a tight game. She thought she made a good play on the ball. She reacted. It was well within the game.
Emily, and then Alexa.
I'm not gonna get fined for that, am I?
Emily, go ahead.
Coach, for some of those younger players, Breezy and Raven, how did you feel like they handled, just kind of the intensity of this rivalry and this environment that you guys were in tonight?
The younger players handled it well. Like, I sometimes after the, decompressing and debriefing on the game, there were probably times in which we could have played Breezy a little bit more. But I chose to go with our experienced players. I thought Raven just handled the situation well. Like, she really doesn't get too high with the highs or low with the lows. She just plays. Like, there isn't, she just wants to win. She plays like a winner.
Alexa.
Hi, Dawn. What sorts of takeaways do you want your team to have from a game like this that can help you all towards your ultimate goals for April?
Yeah, this was a national championship-like game. So I want us to feel what it takes in order for us to do this, to do it in the first round, the second round, Sweet 16, Elite Eight, is going to take this kind of effort and attention to detail. And, you know, the crowd may not be in our favor, but we have to lock in. And I hope, I know we got enough in the locker room that really understands what it takes. I hope our younger players really take in being in this environment, and they may not play, but you got to feel it, and you got to go through it. You got to see it, and then it possibly can help you practice a little bit better.
Hi, Dawn. We talked so much about your depth, which really shined through in a lot of different players today, but of course it came back statistically and in the second half in particular to Aaliyah. Can you just speak to kind of her arc in today's game, what she means to your team in
Aaliyah?
general? To Aaliyah, yeah,
Oh, God.
and just, you know, how she kind of came on so much stronger in today's game and really just means to your
Yeah.
team on a national level. It came back to her.
I mean, Aaliyah is, she's just relentless. She plays relentlessly. And although, you know, she had a subpar as far as statistics, where she didn't get a field goal, she impacted the game. Like, they're scheming. They're scheming to defend her in a certain way, whether they bring the double, you know, whether they bring the, you know, triple, whether they, you know, single cover her. She's got to see it all. She does a great job at reading it. And she doesn't get flustered. Like, she knew she didn't play statistically up to her standard. So what does she do? Raise her standard. That's her. Win, lose, or draw. Good, bad, first half or not, she's going to continue to play. There's nobody that pursues the basketball more than her. Nobody that wants to win more than her. And, I mean, she backs it up.
Dawn, did you even need to say anything to her at halftime, or you just, by this point, that's all comes from within?
I don't need to say anything, but I do say something, because I want to let her know that, I told her and Zion, you guys don't have a basket, like a field goal. Don't worry about that. Don't bring that into the second half. Like, just be who you are. It'll fall. You're not taking bad shots. And when you don't take bad shots, good shots are going to find their way in the basket. And that's what happened. Or sometimes you're going to have to just go get a bucket, no matter what that looks like, through fouling, just got to go get a bucket. And she did that through offensive rebounding first, and then we got her the ball. We got her the ball where she was mainly single covered, at least for the catch, and then she can work through whatever they throw at her.
And did, at the end of the first quarter, I mean, you guys look like you kind of picked things up defensively in the second quarter. I mean, what'd you say in the huddle?
I said it's a 40-minute game, you know, and, you know, I know the storyline has been, you know, they don't have a whole lot of depth. So thank you. I just said that, you know, we just have to we got depth. We got players that, you know, can play a lot of minutes. If they can't, then we'll bring somebody else in. Like, we utilize our depth, we utilize our size, we utilize our ability to keep pressure on them. Although they played a great game. It was a great game for college women's basketball, because we were back and forth. It was a 12-point game, and it ended up being a one-possession game, you know, at the end of the fourth quarter. And I just really think our depth paid off.
All right, we're
What-
going to go to Doug, and then we'll take two more in the back, and then we got to go.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, Dawn. Nice sweatshirt.
Thank
Good luck
you.
next weekend.
Thank you.
It's this time of year people start talking Player of the Year, National, and Aaliyah. I mean, every big game seems to have a great game. And the Stanford game, and then today, I should say, fourth quarter had 12 straight points for you. You were running things for her. She said she credited you for making those calls. But just what is it about a big game that she seems to step up and do what you guys need to get the wins?
I mean, Aaliyah only wants to win. Like, she doesn't, you know, she doesn't get flustered. You know, she just plays. She's such a highly intelligent player. Like, I think her intellect is off the charts. Her IQ is off the charts. She sees it, and she can actually do it. Some players can see it, but can't execute it. They see it. They can tell you everything that's supposed to happen, but they can't get there. I mean, she sees it. I mean, I listen to her in practice, and she is telling our younger players what to do, where to go on the sideline. Like, and I try to tell our young players, like, are you listening to what she's saying? Like, are you ever going to be able to do that for a younger player? Because she's locked in. Like, she studies it. It's her lifestyle. This is what she wants to do. She's always wanted to be great, and she works at it. Like, she works at it, but she rises to the top in big games because she wants to win, and she considers herself to have a high standard of playing and performing and executing, and she doesn't let herself off the hook ever, no matter what's happening out there.
All right, we're gonna take the last two in the back, Beth, and then.
Don, we talked Friday after practice about how important and how difficult it is to get this win in Connecticut, and that's kind of a monkey off your back milestone, wherever you want to put it. How do you characterize it? And it's evident why it's so difficult to do, but how important is that in this program's journey?
I mean, it's in the whole grand scheme of things, it's really not important. But, you know, for your psyche, like for us, you know, to win this game, when we've beat UConn in the regular season, great things happen in the postseason. So this was our only opportunity for us to play. And you got to have some success. You got to feel some success, or else you play them again and you've lost that game. It does give you a little bit of doubt that you can't beat them. So it was good for our players. I'm happy for our, you know, Aaliyah's class, who have done incredible things, historical things against UConn. And this is one of the things that we hadn't been able to do, and I'm glad for them. Like, it's completed when it comes to playing UConn, and that's because they're the standard. They're the standard of college women's basketball, and when you're able to have this type of success that we've had, it's always a great, incredible thing that you share with your family members, and you certainly put it on your resume, because there are a lot of people that can't do it.
All right, wrap us up again.
Thanks. Hi, Unqua Sonia, Channel 3 here in Hartford. I'm curious, with your history in the game, what's it like to have not just this program, but to play the standard, as you say, to have it take center stage in front of a national audience and have it be the game that it's become?
It's great, you know. You know, a lot of people say, why do you play this game? You know, you're right in the middle of your conference schedule. We got a tough league that we play in. I play it because I want our players to play on the biggest stage always, like always. Win, lose, or draw, we have to participate in these experiences to measure ourselves, to be great. And, I mean, why wouldn't you want to play in a national televised, sold-out game when you have people who say people don't watch women's basketball, they don't come to women's basketball? Well, you know, I saw StubHub, you know, $700 for this ticket to get in the game today. That's, you know, I don't really buy tickets, but that's comparable. That's comparable to, probably not Super Bowl, but I mean, we are marketable. We are a value sport, and once people start treating us like that, you're going to see us be a multi-hundred-millionaire sport, because I do think we got the product, we got the coaches, we got the players, we got the fans, so we have it all. So let us loose.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.